what if I said you had a superpower? The power to have monomaniacal focus on your goals and literally attract what you think about. Would you change today to access this power? Howdy, I'm Harrison Quinn and welcome back to the Graft HQ. I know what you're thinking right now. Wow, what a big claim you're making. That's a fucking big claim, a superpower. Well, I can tell you right now, I always back up my claims. I always back up my talk. Just, don't ask any of my exes. Goals in life are massive. They are a beacon in life to guide you where you want to go based on a preconception of what you want to achieve. In this video, I want to explain what your superpower is. I'm going to explain it and I want to hopefully go into a bit of detail. Then I want to show you how you can harness this power because it's interesting. It's good, I think, anyway. And then one goal you should never have because it'll fuck you up. And then after that, I'll show you some actions that you can take straight away to get in it. Also, please like and subscribe. I keep forgetting to ask. Please. So, what is your superpower? It is the RAS. RAS, not ASS before. Some of you guys making some assumptions and insinuations out there. So, what is the RAS? It is the reticular activating system. It is a bunch of neurons in the brain that help mediate behavior. Basically, the RAS is the mechanism that allows goals to happen. Google it. I'm not sprouting shit. I learned about the RAS back in 2020, back in the dark days, back when I was in the trenches of learning about neuro-linguistic programming. So it was good times, to be fair. It was good time. It's a bunch of neurons in the brain that help us filter out the unnecessary information so we can start focusing on the useful stuff. It is why when you just buy a car, let's say you just bought a Nissan Juke, you see them everywhere. They're left, right and centre. It's that. It's also why you're in a crowd of thousands of people at a gig, you hear somebody calling your name. Even though there's loads of people around, you should be hearing it. You focus on that. And then it's also when you see that girl or guy that you like everywhere, that you know what I mean? You see them everywhere after you spot them. Well, it's either that or you've got a stalker, my friend. The RAS takes what you focus on, creates a filter for this information, and then tries to find information to validate your own beliefs. That's why it is a superpower. It is, if used correctly, is absolutely astronomically fantastic. But at the same time, it could also be your biggest downfall. So, how can we utilize the RAS? Number one, make sure the goals we have and set ourselves encapsulate what we actually want to focus on. The RAS is very good at monomaniacal focus. It really is. If you're driving along and somebody says to you, don't hit the bollard over there, you're driving along, you're fine. Next thing you know, you're thinking about the bollard. You're like, damn, I really don't want to hit that bollard. Next thing you know, you're not even thinking about driving. You're not driving anymore. You're thinking of the bollard. Start steering into it. Same when you're at the pub. Let's say your best mates just turn to you, damn, that boy or girl at the bar looks good. They look fit. All you want to do is turn around as quick as possible to see it because that's what you're focusing on. It's the same with kids. If you tell them not to do something, all they want to do is do it because it's all you focus on at that point in time. It's what your mind is fixated on, what your RAS is fixated on at that point in time. What this means is that your brain focuses on specific. So with your goals, you need to make sure they're specific in being positive and constructive. So let's say you have a goal where you say you don't want to ever make less than 100 grand a year. It's negative, it's destructive because you're focusing on the wrong side of everything. Your mind will focus on not doing something. It will focus on 100 grand, less than that. You want to turn that around. You want to turn that into a goal of I always want to make more than triple figures. That's wrong. I always want to make more than 6 figures a year. Think of it in that way. You shift where your mind's thinking about the goal. And number two, you want to reduce the chance of your RAS filtering out your actual goals. So in day-to-day life, your RAS and your brains get overloaded with sensors all the time. If you think about it, do you actually think about moving or walking or eating or drinking? No, it comes naturally as your brain blocks out and cuts out all the sensors that are feeding into your brain. So therefore, your RAS does that with goals as well. If you have too many goals, it will start cutting out the ones that it thinks are not important. But your RAS has got a different idea set to what you actually want to achieve in life, as I'll come on to next. What goal not to have in life? Anything sexual related. Think about evolution. We are animals at the end of the day. And no, I'm not talking about in the bedroom before one of you puts a comment on. And one of our biggest desires as animals is reproduction. It's sex. It's all about that lust and everything. It's a massive motivation in life. It really is to a lot of people, unless you've got it under control. So therefore, if you have one of your goals in life as wanting more sex or trying to get with a certain amount of people, that even if you've got 3 goals, your whole life will be just about sex. Think about it. When you're in the mood of like meeting people, going out, you're messaging them constantly. It's all you're thinking about. It's like you get nervous when somebody's not spoken to you. Everything leads into being about sex. It's because your RAS and your whole brain is evolutionarily created to think about sex, to want to reproduce. So you need to stop it, bin it off, gone, bang, gone. You've got to make the change right now. Or you will grow up to tell you know, sit down with your kids, little Jimmy comes to you, "Granddaddy, tell me some great stories." And all you have is sex stories. Yeah, you might have some great sex stories, but what about some life stories? Have you actually done much in life or just share? So actions that we can take right now to utilize the RAS and our superpower to make a much more fulfilling life. Let's go. Number 1, understand what you actually want from life. Write it all down. Find out what your purpose is. You need to go back and actually watch my past videos. Hey, come on, watch them all. They're good. You need to bring down that facade, a bit of introspection. Find out what you actually want from life. Write all these down and it will really help on the next step. Number 2, turn your wants and what you want in life into SMART goals. SMART. S is specific, M is measurable, A is attainable, R is relevant, and T is timely. Make sure all your goals have this sort of premise inside them. What that means is, let's say you want to sing in a pub. Let's turn that into, by the end of 2023, I want to have sang in 2 pubs on the Isle of Man. So local pubs. That's attainable. It's on the Isle of Man. It's small, timely by the end of the year. It's specific because you want to grow and become a musician. It's measurable because we've said you want to do it twice, and it's realistic. Is there any more? Relevant, attainable, measurable? I think that's it. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think we covered that. So yeah, write all these goals down. You might have 10, you might have 20. Write them all down. From what you want into a specific stuff, all timely, all measurable. Write it all down. And then number 3 comes around. Write them in order. Put them in order of what means the most to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down. Write it down. Go for a coffee. Go for a tea. Go for a quick shit. Come back and fucking rip off any that are below 3. Get them gone. No, I don't mean in a horrible way, but they're not that important to you. They're not the top 3. You need to have 2 and 3, mostly 3, actual attainable goals to focus on in life. Because, like we said before, any more than that, and your RAS comes into play, starts kicking shit off where you might not want to. You want to have the 3 that's specific, and what your brain will then program itself to look out for. It will program itself to make sure you're going down the route of these goals. So in conclusion, you were born with these skills inside yourself to become something special in life, to literally focus and become something amazing. You've just been ignorant. So now you know about it, you'll start to see it in day-to-day life. Now you understand what your RAS does. On the day-to-day stuff that you do, you'll start thinking about stuff. And when you start thinking about stuff, you're more aware to it. So now, sit down in a chair, think about the fact you're moving your hands. Are you thinking about this? When you start thinking about that, how do you move something? How do you eat? How do you stand up? Just become aware to the different movements that your brain is constantly not letting you think about, because it's just so much information. So take action by following my 3 steps today on how to utilize your RAS to make goals. Go over on understanding what the RAS is and tell you how you can make that come into the rest of your life in different areas, and you will see the benefits immediately if you make some of these changes today. So yeah, thanks for listening. Hope you've learned a bit in this video. Really appreciate the view. It's been great to see you all again. I've not seen you, but it's been great for you guys to see me, I bet. I'm great. But yeah, thank you very much. Have a great night. I'll see you next week.